Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the first monthly remote healing grid for January, healing and preventing dis-ease within the human body. Very powerful one today, as you all know. Thank you so much for joining me. I am orchestrating and facilitating this at exactly 12:30 today on the 10th of January, as the moon now has shifted over and we are at the exact point in time for a new moon here in Australia, in Sydney. For others who are joining us from around the world, it will still infiltrate exactly the same way, because we are using the power of the energy of the exact moment where the new moon begins to expand and grow again. So we have been guided to set a very definite theme for this grid, which seems to be more prevalent to me these days, coming in with an early guidance before I actually go in and do the grid completely organic and raw. Now, of course, it is going to be still done with me not really knowing what's going to happen, but I have a lot more preparation to do in my physical body and in prior to the grids these days, because we are trying to bring in as much light into physical form and into the abundance that already exists within us, which is our divine infinite love. So the theme defined for this first grid for January 2016 is clearing the dense emotions that hold on to toxins in the cells that create fat pockets, aches and pains in the body. And as we all know, those things will eventually cause, in some cases, some more extreme health issues later on if they continue to manifest without being cleared. So part of the theme today of why I was guided to do this so directly, and so it was just like 2 a.m. in the morning, bang, I was woken and just basically said, action this, put this out, do this now. As we are in a 9-year cycle, 2016 numerologically is a number 9, and number 9 represents the endings of many, many things. Now, it's the end of a 1 to 9 cycle, and I believe that this year is about bringing in more of the universal unconditional love into our day-to-day life and into our bodies. Now, often that's referenced to as the Christ consciousness energy. Some of you feel more comfortable with universal love, unconditional love, but Christ consciousness is also something that may resonate with some of us. And the Christ consciousness energy truly is a unification of the feminine and the masculine in human form. And when you reach that point, you are able to then bring through and hold on into your body, in your cells, the beautiful, purest of unconditional Christ consciousness energy, known to be pure love. So the point of doing this in January, what I feel through my guidance, is that ends of cycles don't actually have to end in December 2016. There could be endings happening right from day one in 2016, where you're coming to, and it doesn't necessarily meaning an end of something where it's cut and it's finished. In some ways, in some parts of your life, in some of the cycles, absolutely. But the word I would like to use, softening it down a little bit more, is completion. What you started back could be as back as year 1, like 9 years ago, could be coming to a completion of its full cycle of life in your particular journey. So that could be happening in any month of this year, because the whole year owns that vibration of 9, and coming in off the back of an 11th month in December, with a lot of the full moon being at 11:11 on Christmas Day, you can see the relevance to that real pure Christ consciousness energy, and 11:11 being a very, very strong vibration in my world, and it seemed to just show up astrologically and in so many ways in the last month of 2015. So this is setting us up for the whole of the year, and for us to be able to hold more of this pure energy and this pure love, we need to have a look at what is in the unseen, that is in our cells, that is running in parallel to our everyday life, that we actually don't know is existing. Now, I have had a look at the beautiful souls that have you guys that have shown up today, and you are all very high vibrational, intuitive beings that are really on a strong development path of mastery. This is what you're all about in this lifetime, and you are about bringing light to this planet to ripple out the unconditional love and make a difference. So I just want to pause for a moment and really honour the gift of the divinity within you showing up in human form at this incredible time of change, growth and evolution. I celebrate you. Stop, breathe, receive. Stop, breathe, receive. Beautiful. So just to let you know before we begin, but really we've already begun, at midday today I went through an initiation process of inviting you all in and honouring you all individually, coming into the portal here at Manly in my spectrum space, as you all are very familiar with, except those of you who have not formally met me but know of me through the energies of the ether as you reside in another country. So of course I welcome you always. But we are here inside the portal at Spectrum Healing in Manly in Sydney today, and I did a very, it's like it really is of the highest order. It's like a high priestess, high priest anointing of inviting you all in one by one, and I honour you for allowing me to tap into your energy and invite you in earlier than the actual allocated time. So you might have been feeling it through the night and actually now in the full energies. I'm doing this in live time, so the feeling will be coming through you as I am speaking, the knowing and the deeper understanding when you listen to the vibrational energy behind what I have to share today. And the reason I'm doing it in live time is that's because your energy wants it in live time, and you are all capable of feeling this whilst you're continuing doing whatever you are doing in your day on this beautiful Sunday here in Sydney. So prior to inviting you all in, I set the space, and on Thursday when I got the initial insight of making this grid aligned with the new moon, I have been drinking apple cider vinegar water to purify my being a little extra more than I normally do. So I've been putting a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a litre of water twice a day and just really cleansing my physical cells to really hold more space. And that's what it's about for me, holding as much space as I can to bring this through for you, for all of humanity, and of course for the collective one. I also have been burning a coil of frankincense in here this morning. I have anointed you all with the jasmine oil, which is a beautiful favourite smell of mine, but that's what I was guided to use. I have also been greeted you all with some holographic oils, which was gifted to me during the Christmas period, which I obviously for a reason would we not understand that. So this oil is really about dissolving the concept of separation that's created through the earth component of time and space. So it's really dissolving any separation that you have from your earth being and your spirit being, light body, human body, and bringing in that. It's the concept of the earth mother in the yin and the father universe of the yang, and bringing in that unification within you of the divine feminine, divine masculine, yin yang, but also the concept making it a larger micro from the macro, and taking that macro out from the universe to also the earth element as well, planet Earth. So it really is about a unification of the polarities for you to be able to hold this light and bring in more of your true self into form for 2016. So also working very much with the cube, the sacred geometry piece of the cube. And for those of you who have been on these grids before will always know that the portal here at Spectrum is gridded with a cube. And the point being, it is the element related to our earth element. And I believe that everything we do in spiritual form deserves and should be allowed to come and bring itself into form, human form, physical reality. So it's a way of manifesting everything we do in our spiritual world to bring it into the benefits into our day-to-day life. So the cube is made up of today. The bloodstone is the base of the cube, and the bloodstone is all about detoxification, purification, particularly of the blood, metabolism, lymphatic system, and I probably am already knowing that we are going to be guided into that area in the body with these emotions by what I was shown to set up the cube and this grid with. Also, rose quartz is about the unconditional love, and what we take out today will be replaced with a deeper essence of the divinity of unconditional love. Also, I was guided to put on the sides Moonstone, and Moonstone is about a transfer. In this particular case, it's all about cycles, but for the purpose of this grid, we are looking at transformation of all emotional cycles from chaos to order. Wonderful, wonderful crystal for bringing your life into order. Now, order does not mean boring, does not mean conservative, does not mean without joy, without fun. It means you are able to stay centered and ordered within the chaos that is happening around you in every moment, known as life. So it's a beautiful understanding that the cycles can still flow within you, through you, around you, but you stay centered in order. And I love that word order, which I many years ago did have a bit of an aversion for. And this is why I'm telling you, order, that's too structured, that's too boring. But taking it deeper and really understanding the feeling of order inside you that I feel in every moment in my day, it's a centered presence that you're able to tap into when you feel that chaos in your life and you're not feeling solid. You just order, and always invoke and wake up the moonstone crystal that resides within your crystalline core and allows you to come back to that order. Just a tip, and particularly for the beautiful women, because the moonstone crystal also aligns with our moon cycle, our menstrual cycle. beautiful. Not that information for the men on our grids, but for the females, absolutely. And if you know me well, you would know I have a moonstone ring that I wear every day, and I don't think I've taken it off for almost 9 years. So there you go. There's that number 9 coming to an end of a cycle. Maybe I'll change and upgrade to a new ring, but I don't think so. And also, I've called in the essence of the embodiment of the crystalline energy of clear quartz, and clear quartz absolutely amplifies everything that we are doing. So getting underway now, you are all residing within the energies of the cube. There is no other pieces of sacred geometry invited in today. It was just a very solid cube energy, and really said this is all about purifying the human body. So over years of experience, working with so many beautiful souls, including all of you, I have learned through experience so much about the difference between emotions and feelings. And an emotion, it's an emotive, it's something that moves us, but it's very surface. And a feeling is something very deep inside. And when we call someone very emotional, that isn't always a compliment. You call somebody that tends to be oversensitive. Someone who lives from their feelings is someone who's very, very sensitive. Emotional is very oversensitive, hypersensitive, and we know when that can cause a lot of chaos in our life. So what we're about today is we want to have a look at the vibrations of the energy of resentment and the energy of disappointment. Now, both of these vibrational feelings are very much in the unseen. Now, resentment can absolutely have more of a retaliation and emotive effect, and disappointment tends to go more within. So from the concept of the yin and the yang, resentment is more in the yang energy and disappointment is more in the yin. But for me, I see them as a very, very similar vibration. They are just played out in the polarity of the yin and the yang. And we have all been through periods where we have been greatly let down and felt great disappointment in experiences and engagements and relationships in our life. And we have all felt resentment for issues that have played out again through experiences. And most of these have happened through engagements of relationships with others, whether they be your beloveds, whether they be girlfriends, male friends, or even relationships within your work, and even the relationship within to your whole work and your whole family as a collective, even relationships to God, Creator, Spirit, whatever format you would like to reference, the higher power. So we build up these energies within us, and because they are so in the unseen, and a lot of shame is built around these energies. We don't want to show our resentment. We don't want to show our disappointment, because that shows a sense of vulnerability driven through a concept or a perception that we are weak. Now, of course, we are not weak. That is only a perception that we have created. So I'm going to start at that point. That is the point of energy that drives all of this to be pushed within our body, is the fear of being perceived as weak. That's point one. So through the energy that's already existing, and love is just pouring through you, the beautiful pink ray of unconditional love has been pouring through you the whole time I've been sharing this wisdom of how this has been created today. And that is a purification process, which is bringing all that we need to the surface. It's like I'm pouring beautiful water into a big vat of oil, and the oil is actually solidifying and coming to the surface for me to clear in your cells. So I'm clearing now the point of where we feel we are weak. And I'm being shown, if you could actually see me, I'm bringing my right hand in to a point. All my fingers are coming in to this one point. And through my clairvoyant gifts, I'm able to actually see it is the center point of the heart chakra. So right in that center point of the second chamber of the heart, there's a center point that we feel weakness, weakness, weakness. And I just want to dissolve that vibration. And deep within our heart, in the second chamber of that chakra, that is the chamber of self-mastery. So if there's a vulnerability point why we are trying to go through this self-actualization and realization process into form, and there is a vulnerable weakness point, it will never be able to hold the light in its full expression. Just dissolving it, it is so small. It's like a tiny little vibration of a weeny cloud that you could see right up in the sky as it just dissolves away. And again, stop, breathe, receive. And just the sound of the heart chakra. So we are going back to the points, and we will move through them to clear all that we need to clear to get to the points of resentment and disappointment. It feels like that, but as it permeates into the body, there are core triggers that we need to find. Strike one. Going now to what drives the feeling of that vulnerability point of weakness. And remember, our heart chakra connects to our physical heart. And this is now the key as I see a block. And this is the vibration. It is the fear of rejection. Now this fear of rejection, by fully expressing all of our feelings, all of our emotions in that moment as they are felt internally from either outside sources or how we feel in our own expression. There are these key vulnerabilities that are allowing us to really denying us our true and full expression as they hit these vulnerability points, and we shut down, we bury it, we push it into our cellular memory, and as time goes on, it coagulates in the cells, and this is how it becomes dis-ease within the body. So now I'm seeing this vibration, this fear of rejection, a huge fear that comes through in so many of us in human form, as we are so taught to please and harmonize and do everything for the kindness of others rather than putting ourselves first and valuing our needs first. Sound familiar to all of you? Me too. Okay, so taking away the vibration that resides ever so finely and subtly between the connection to our physical heart and our heart chakra. And as we go through the evolution process that we are going through, known as ascension, at this wonderful time of being here on this planet, you may not know, but the physical heart and the heart chakra begin to merge as one. And if there is a fear of rejection in this connection, the catch-22, the paradox that goes with this, these two are rejecting each other, which does not allow the full embodiment of our light body and our physical body. And as I see this vibration coming to the surface, as I communicate what I see to be true, it always shows up for me in a colour or a sound. For this is how I work. This is the spectrum of all that I know. And it's been shown to me in the colour of orange. And orange is the home of our sacral chakra, the home of boundaries, connections, relationships, relating to others, sensuality, sexuality, the home of connection to the outside world. So it's not crazy to think that this is where the wound may be. It is showing up between the heart and the heart chakra, but it would play out in all of our relationships. And of course, most importantly, how we relate to ourselves and how the physical body and the light body are still rejecting each other ever so subtly. So with the power of the gifts of frequency and vibration, I just ask for this to be dissolved using the purest energy I know to be accessible within me and within this spectrum healing space, my portal, your portal, our portal. Pure unconditional love, the frequency of universal unconditional love, where no polarity, no duality, no opposites exist. It just is. It is everything but nothing. And as I see in all of you, collectively, this is just dissolving. The vulnerability in the physical heart of weakness, of feeling less than, has dissolved. The fear of rejection, ever so subtle, preventing such growth and evolution within your energy. What you deserve. A blockage is now completely dissolved. Two strikes. Let's go to the third. And this is where I see a division, where I see the energy divide into the feeling of disappointment and the feeling of resentment. I am being shown immediately to go to the fork in the road that's sending me in the direction of the right, the right side. I'm using my hands quite animatedly to guide this energy. And this is the energy of disappointment. And as I travel through the depths of the physical heart, I'm being shown that this runs through our lymphatic system. The system where we dispose of waste and toxins in our body. And then in reflection to the left, feels like it comes out of the heart vessels, the muscles in the heart. I am actually seeing the resentment, and that is going into our metabolism. So both of these are running through our bloodstream and our lymphatic system, and every cell within our being. So going to that point of I am not enough, that weakness point now dissolved through the emotion of the fear of rejection, creates these unseen feelings within our physical body. Disappointment and resentment, residing in the pools of the states of being of sadness, known as the feminine shadow, and the state of being of anger for the resentment, known as the masculine shadow. So you can see why this is a purification to bring the unity of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the yin and yang within each of you, to a place of unification. And this is the first space that you need to be into to bring what is known as that Christ consciousness into your energy, into your being, into your body, into your life, which will wake up the natural abundance that runs through your veins in every breath that you take. And this I can see now runs off the back of the grid I created at the end of December, the abundance grid. This is taking this to a whole new level. Thank you, beautiful souls, for showing up and supporting me, supporting you for this divine journey of transformation and purification, so you can evolve into the true essence of the purity of the divinity you are, pure love. As I communicate, I still hold my left and right hand like a fork in the road, holding this energy of the feeling of the disappointment and the feeling of the resentment. Now we do need to understand that these shadow emotions feelings need to exist within us. But it has come to a point where they are extreme and they are consuming our cellular memory ever so subtly, but they would keep us stuck, blocked, uninspired, and for some of you maybe even a tad lazy. I say that with humble respect. And for some more of you, maybe even manifesting some form of ill health or dis-ease within the lymphatic system, the metabolism, and even in the bloodstream itself. Now be mindful that all autoimmune disease and all allergies and all skin disease come from these three areas within our body, these systems within our body. So at this point, stop, breathe, receive. Listen to the wisdom that I've been sharing with you, that I know to be true through a decade of experience, from what I have seen in the unseen. So what I am guided to do now, as I've been building space and energy in my hands, and my hands feel like stiff bricks, I have opened them up as more energy is pouring back into my hands, like I'm pulling it out of your lymphatic system and pulling it out of your metabolism. drawing the disappointment like a magnet, like a magnetism, pulling that energy, using the unconditional love that's repelling. It's just saying, we don't want this. Send it back to where it came. Now, I don't wish for it to go back into your heart, your physical heart, or back into your heart chakra. So I'm holding space inside your heart, blocking this energy from going back into your purification system. Don't worry, I haven't stopped you from breathing. I'm on this beautiful grid also, and I'm breathing and I'm talking to you. So I'm just blocking only what it feels like to hold this energy. And my hands are throbbing, particularly the left one, which is the resentment. And I would imagine, because resentment is much more emotive, and it comes more from a place of yang, action, where the feminine, the yin, is more a place of being. We sit in our sadness, we sit in our disappointment, where the yang will react and respond. And sure, we sit in our resentment, but resentment eats away at us, where disappointment just allows us to wallow and feel sorry for oneself. Bringing these energies, I'm creating orbs in both of my hands. I look like a grizzly bear with these big energy balls, and I can't move my fingers. It's about the size of a grapefruit that I'm gripping out of all of your energies. And be mindful that I can hold space for a huge amount of people. So don't feel that because there's a group of you that I have lost sight of any one of you. You are all there with me, and I'm pulling this out all collectively, individually, and allowing this full energy to be extracted. And I'm using the energy of magnetism. And there is one beautiful person on this grid today that would really understand. She's an expert on magnetism. And she would see and laugh and have a little giggle, knowing that I'm using it in the reverse polarity. I'm using the magnetism of unconditional love to extract something that no longer serves. It's taking a little effort. That's all I can say. I'm pulling it and pulling it and pulling it, and I'm not stopping until the extreme of both of these emotions are purified out of your bloodstream and out of your lymphatic system. And for those of you who understand the human body and the endocrine system a little more, resentment would really impact your mental plane. So if that is you, just acknowledge. If you are overwhelmed, you forget things, your ability to process, understand things sometimes gets a little confused, you might know that you are holding on to a little bit more resentment. And for the disappointment, I think you know where I'll go here. This is really held on and affects our emotional plane. So if you are one who falls into that category where you are very triggered very easily to a place of tears, where you watch a movie and you feel this absolute sadness that just overwhelms you, and I don't talk about normal divine sadness. I talk about an overwhelming feeling, like that is you in that movie, and that is all about you. You feel it in every cell and every being. And you feel like you sit in a pool sometimes of sadness, and that depressive behavior can sometimes encapsulate you. That is the overwhelming feeling of sadness. And that overwhelming feeling of anger, where we are confused and we can't concentrate and we get angry and intolerant, that is coming from the resentment vibration. So if you call yourself very mental, and this is how you define yourself, no one else. You know who you are. Know that you are now going to receive so much more clarity as we pull the resentment out. of your metabolism. Clarity. And from that clarity, you will be able to action from a state of illumination as we are replacing this energy that we are pulling out with the shining bright light of pure love. And if you are one who tends to cry at the drop of a hat or hide away in your emotions, you will know that you will be stronger and have a greater sense of endurance in your emotional world, in your emotional energy. Yes, you are able to feel, but the